Hi everyone, it's Plastic EP coming in from Melbourne, Australia, and coming in from Surrey in the UK. I've got Paul with me. How are you today, Paul? I've
Yeah,
got
fine,
Paul
Plastic.
Harrison. No relation to George, no.
No. I wish I was.
Now listen, you got a fantastic collection now, and I love how you have this creative aspect to yourself, and you're into the Thunderbirds and all the Jerry Anderson stuff. Tell me how you got involved with that.
Well, obviously came from childhood. As a youngster in the 60s, we all watched Thunderbirds. Still going now, of course. And I've always been into looking at life, like models that look like real life, if you like. My dad was always into stuff like that, and he took me to different places. And as I grew up, he did the Airfix models and all that sort of thing. Never really a great modeler, but when I got older, I decided that I'd build a 12-inch Dalek. It was, about a kit. And once I built it, I said to my wife, do you know what? I fancy building a full-size Dalek. So she said, why don't you? So I did. Can I turn this round and show you?
Yeah, if
quickly?
you can, sure. No worries.
Can you see the Dalek over there?
Yeah, I see him in the corner. What's his name?
His name's Dalek.
That's a silver one, yeah?
That's it, yeah. And I built him in the early 90s, and it sort of snowballed a little bit from there. I built a Stingray, out of, Jerry Anderson Stingray model.
Yeah, I'm in the Stingray supercar. I'm in all that stuff because I grew up in the 60s like yourself. And I've got to tell you,
Exactly.
when the Thunderbirds were first on, living in Australia, because they moved around and they were a bit rigid, it was a bit scary if you were young. They weren't like normal.
Yeah, well, there's nothing normal about it, mate. It's just, it's pretty rubbish, really, but somehow we like it, don't we?
Super marination, isn't it?
Super marination. That's it. You got
That's
it.
it. Yep. So there you go. Only people that know about this show will know about it. So tell me, I'm glad that you like a lot of things. Did you like Joe 90?
That was probably a little bit, as time goes on with Jerry Anderson stuff, you start to grow up. And although I did watch it, it didn't make the same impression on me, if you know what I mean. It was mainly.
Ask you, did you go and see the Thunderbirds a Go movie?
Oh yeah, seen all that. Yeah. Not very good though.
James Bond was huge. I got to say, culturally for the UK, James Bond is like your superhero there. It was even here in Australia. I mean, it's like an event. Every time they had a James Bond movie, the world just turned on to watch it. You agree? Was that great?
Oh yeah, James Bond's fantastic, and we all have our own James Bonds, don't we?
Exactly. I like Sean Connery the best.
Well, Sean Connery and Daniel Craig are the best ones for me.
No problem. Now let's have a look at some of these great models that you've made.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So the Stingray up there.
Yeah, I like it. It's great.
Yeah, that was the first one I built, which was probably about 96. I think I built that. It's a meter long, and it's mainly made of balsa wood and covered in a fiberglass resin.
It's so great. Can I ask you? You obviously get the dimensions from photos. Would that be right?
Yeah, pretty much. Take lots of screenshots from the show, and try and take measurements and try and get it as near as you can. Really, it's a lot of it's just purely visual. If it looks right, generally it is right. But the beauty of Jerry Anderson models were that none of them were the same. Because they had for argument's sake, the Thunderbird 2 model, big close-up filming was done on a big model, distance was done on a small model. But when you compare the models, they were different anyway. So you've got a little bit of flexibility there, if you know what I mean. Even the decals, the thing would be rolling out of its bay in the rock there, and the decal would be one shape of decal, and then when it's in the air, it would be a different decal on it completely. So the continuity was rubbish on the show, to be fair. So, you know, there's no such thing as the perfect Stingray or perfect Thunderbird 2, you know?
I love it. Keep showing me the stuff there. I'm amazed with what you've done.
Okay.
And you know what? Doing it yourself and not buying models. I mean, look what you can do with it. It's just amazing that you just put it together yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the Thunderbird 2's it's got an interior in there. Can you see that inside?
Yeah, of course. That's fantastic how you lit it up. I got to say, your wife's great to have all the patience to allow you to do all this stuff.
Well, she that's the cat. Can you see in there?
Yeah, I love that.
And then at the back there, you've got it lit up in the back there as well. So, you know, it's quite.
You know how great that looks?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know where you actually saw me from, Plastic.
I saw you on the internet.
Okay, what was it, YouTube?
No, just on the Facebook, and then from there I chased it to the YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah, because YouTube shows you the way I built a lot of this stuff.
They can go to YouTube and have a look. What's the name of your channel, Paul?
It's small p, small h, Harrison. Well, it's P Harrison, small p and small h.
All small letters, P Harrison, one word.
That's it, yeah. And you know, if you can't find it that way, just put in how I built Stingray or how I built Thunderbird 2. You know, you'll find it. I guess there's not too many people do stuff like that. There's a few. I mean, you talk about my wife. You know, I built some of these Thunderbird models, and she said, you've got to make Thunderbird 3. So I said,
does she allow you to build the models because she wants to give you your own free time?
Yeah. Well, she's pretty good, really, and she likes her sci-fi anyway. So you know, I get away with it quite good, really. But she wanted me to build this Thunderbird 3, and this is 58 inches tall. This is. You can't really get a good idea of perspective here, but that's quite a big model. That
I can. Standing alongside you, it's half your body.
Yeah. It's say 58 inches from down there. It's like from the top. It's 58 inches, which is quite a tall model. That is. Some of them are kits, like for argument's sake, the puppets here. I don't know if you can see these, can you?
Yeah, I can see them perfect.
Yeah. Some of the puppets here. These are actually
Lady Penelope.
Yeah, Lady Penelope and Parker.
That's it.
Yeah. And then you got down there you got Scott and the other guy there. He's sitting there. And then you got the old mole up the top there.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I like
yeah,
the way you got it. What, in a spare room? It's all in your spare room, is it, or is it in your lounge?
No. This is my lounge, man.
That's it, mate. I'm glad you got priority there. I love it.
Yeah, it's better than China ornaments, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I like is you can watch the Thunderbirds on TV while you've got all that stuff around you.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's great to look at. I think, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but
no, I agree. I reckon it's great. Now, when you have your friends coming over with kids, they must freak out when they see it.
Oh yeah, they love it. At the end of, I mean, most of the people I know now, they're in a similar age group, so their kids have been and gone, you know. But the grandkids, like the brother-in-law and the grandkids and stuff like that, when they come over, you know, they're sort of like trying to get them into watching the Thunderbirds and stuff like that. Is good, you know. But the new Thunderbirds obviously is a little bit more cartoony and stuff like that. It's no puppets.
So that I like the old Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I think we all do in that respect, you know. This was the latest one I built, which was over Christmas, and this is a Thunderbird 1. Well, let's get that right.
That one. I like it how it's in the cabinet, pride and place.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get this phone to get straight. Sorry.
No, that's fine. We can see it perfect, Paul.
Yeah. So that's 3D printed. I don't know if you know much about 3D printers, but they're fantastic for modelling.
So what happens with the 3D printer? You give it a design, and it actually makes it correct to the design. Is that right?
That's it. Yeah. You have to design it in like a CAD system, and then you put it on a printer, and it prints out plastic parts. and then you put the plastic parts together and paint it. That's pretty much it.
Was that easier than making it out of balsa wood?
In a way, yeah, because you know, you with whittling a bit of wood, you know, it's a lot of time involved, and then if you get it wrong, then you've got to do it all again. Whereas if you print it out on a printer, then you can alter the CAD and just change the design slightly and then print it out again. So it's less manual labor, I guess. You know, some would say it's cheating, but at the end of the day, it's all just using different types of materials, really.
Hey, Paul,
and then you
all I'm going to say is Thunderbirds a go.
Yeah. And you got the old hood there. Do you remember him?
Yeah, of course I do. He's the most famous character on the show.
Yeah, nasty man.
Isn't it great how everyone's got the Blu-ray or the DVD of the show now? It's not expensive to buy and watch every episode one after the other.
Yeah, it's you know, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not you know, I'm not one of these guys that could just sit and watch it over and over again. You know, I might watch an episode and then perhaps a couple of years down the line I might watch another episode. But you know, at the end of the day, it's the models for me. You know, it's recreating something that they could have used on the show. That's what it's about for me, to be fair.
What did you think of the Mysterians and the other show?
Yeah, Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Captain Scarlet. Yeah, that was just after Thunderbirds, if I remember rightly. And yeah, I was quite into Captain Scarlet, if I'm honest. You know, it's probably something I'd like to do one day, is perhaps build a puppet, Captain Scarlet. You know, but as you can see, you know, I'm running out of room a little bit, to be fair, Plastic. You know, at the end of the day.
I reckon it's fantastic what you've done, Paul. And as I said, continue doing what you're doing, your little videos on the internet. And it's things like this that make a lot of people happy. For example, they'll watch this video and they'll be happy to see what you've actually created and done. And I can tell you, they look fantastic. Your models look fantastic.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, thank you.
That's all you're going to show us today, is it, Paul?
Well, what else can I show you? Well, yeah, I didn't show you Troy there, did I?
Let's have a look. No.
This is Troy Tempest.
He's the main one there. We can't go without seeing that. That's fantastic.
That's our Stingray. That's Troy, who used to, you know, the main man that piloted Stingray. Troy Tempest. That's the baby. And then you've got.
I know my stuff too. I got to ask you something. Do you remember a TV show called Skippy the Kangaroo?
Oh, mate. Yeah, I used to watch that. Skippy.
I got to explain something.
Yeah.
I got to explain something with Skippy. A lot of people don't know. They filmed the kangaroo, and then when they came to opening doors and things, they had like 2 can openers. They were kangaroo hands, but you opened cans with them, right? And what they did is they held them, and you only saw the top of the hands. Get it?
I bet. I'll tell you what, as well. I bet there was a lot of Skippies.
Yeah, I'm sure they used a few of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that big time. Yeah, excellent. So yeah,
that's fantastic. I love you. As I said, I love what you've done there. I love the way you've put them in plastic there and in cabinets. It really shows up really well. And as I said, you're a fantastic collector of Thunderbirds. And as I said, the sky's the limit with what you got. All you need is time, and you can even make more models.
Yeah, it's time and motivation, mate. That's what it takes. You know, if you want something bad enough, then you know you can't get hold of the original replicas or models, because they've all gone, mate. So if you want one, you've got to make it yourself, or perhaps you're lucky enough you might find a kit. So yeah.
Can I ask you, ever thought of making Penelope's car?
I have thought about it. There is a full size one out there.
I've seen it.
That was built years ago, and there is one that they used on the show that's been renovated, and someone owns that. I don't know, you know, how much value that is. It's probably fortunes, but I haven't got the room for one to fit the puppets. Even one to fit the puppets would probably be about 6 or 8 foot long. So, but I've got a little small one down here.
Yeah, that's the one. That's Corgi, isn't it?
No, this is about I don't know, about 14 inches long.
Yeah,
Quite
what's the
big, this
name
one.
underneath the metal? Who made it?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, this is made by AMI, I think. It's
That's all right.
yeah.
That
There's no
came out in
name.
the 60s, did it?
No, this is something that I think is a Japanese model or a Chinese
Okay.
model,
That's
and
great. Do you
it's
remember the metal ones that came out though in the 60s?
oh yeah, the Dinky and the Corgi
Yeah,
ones.
that's
Yeah,
right, Dinky. Thank you.
yeah,
I'm thinking of Corgi. Exactly,
yeah.
Dinky.
Sorry, I weren't listening to what you were saying. Yeah, that's right. The little ones. Yeah, I had one of those, of course, like probably most of us did. And of course, the thing is nowadays, collectors, you know, if they're good nick and they've got the box and everything else, they can make 500 quid. You know, probably I don't know what that is in dollars, but quite a lot of money.
Yeah,
You
like
know.
the James Bond one, the one they had the ejector from the Corgi one. They had the gold
Yeah,
one and
that's
they had
right.
the
Yeah,
other one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I just wish that you just don't know as kids, do you? Keep that stuff, but
They were about
you
three
know,
to £5 when they came out in Australia. That was a lot of money.
yeah, yeah, cool, sure, yeah, yeah. It's got but there's all over the world now people collecting this stuff. It's just unbelievable, really.
Now, Paul, I
Like
want to
everything.
ask you, do you belong to any Facebook group of the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, I'm on a few Facebook groups.
Tell them the
There's
best groups they can join and go to.
yeah, well, there's off the top of my head, as far as the models go, there are I can't remember the exact titles of these, but if you search Thunderbirds and Jerry Anderson, the groups will pop up on Facebook anyway. But the ones that I've joined is obviously the modelling group, and you've obviously taken the time to look at my models, but there are some people out there that are building some fantastic stuff. There's a guy in just trying to think where he is. I think it's Belgium, and he's making I think it's about a 40-foot Eagle transporter, out of UFO Space 1999, and
Yeah,
this
that's
thing he's going
Jerry
to go in.
Anderson too.
Yeah, that's
Unbelievable.
right. Yeah, and this thing's going in his garden. It's all made out of aluminium tubing and everything else. The engineering is amazing, and what you see here is nothing compared to what a lot of people can
Hey,
do.
I'll tell you what you've done. I'll take my hat off to you. Plasticky Peace, salute you. What a great creative collector you are. I love the way you've set it up in your lounge room. And as I said, we thank you so much for being on the show today, Paul.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure. See everyone.
Cheers.